Welcome to Echoes of Africa, where hidden stories, bold voices, and untold truths rise from the heart of the continent. Before you dive in, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because every echo here reveals the Africa they don't want you to see. In a world where innovation often hides behind glossy screens and billion-dollar tech startups, one of the most transformative inventions of our time was born not in a Silicon Valley lab, but in the dusty, sun-baked villages of southern Africa. It has no microchip, no engine, and no Wi-Fi connection. Yet, this simple device has quietly restored health, dignity, and opportunity to hundreds of thousands of people across the continent. It's called the Hippo Water Roller, and it might be one of the most extraordinary examples of African ingenuity ever created. Imagine walking 5 kilometers every day under the blazing sun to fetch water. Imagine balancing 20 kilograms on your head, the strain etched into your neck and shoulders, the hours lost from school or work. For millions of African women and children, this daily trek defines life in rural communities where clean water sources are miles away. The effort is relentless, the impact unseen, until two South African inventors, Petty Petzer and Johan Jonker, decided to look at the problem from a different angle. Literally, instead of carrying water, what if it could simply be rolled? That question sparked a design so simple it seems almost obvious now. A large, durable plastic drum that can hold up to 90 liters of water, about 5 times more than the average bucket, attached to a strong steel handle. The user rolls it effortlessly along the ground, like pushing a wheelbarrow. The result is an invention that multiplies the volume of water transported, slashes the physical burden, and restores time, education, and safety to communities that have long been defined by scarcity. The Hippo Water Roller project was launched in 1991, built not for profit, but for impact. Over the next 3 decades, it spread across 20 African countries, providing more than 65,000 rollers and benefiting close to 500,000 people. It became one of the most recognized examples of human-centered design, innovation born directly from the lived experiences of those it serves. But the story of the Hippo Water Roller is bigger than the device itself. It's a story about how African engineering, rooted in empathy and necessity, is changing global thinking about what technology really means. It's not about complexity. It's about relevance. It's about building something that works sustainably, affordably, and beautifully for the people who need it most. The Hippo Water Roller did not just make it easier to fetch water. It redefined the relationship between design and survival. It showed that real innovation often begins where resources are scarce, but imagination is boundless. It's a reminder that Africa's brilliance lies not in imitation, but in reinvention. Across rural Africa, access to water remains one of the biggest daily challenges. Women and children collectively spend more than 40 billion hours each year carrying water, according to UNICEF. The strain leads to chronic back injuries, lost education time, and reduced productivity. In many villages, girls as young as 8 spend their mornings walking to distant streams before school. By evening, they repeat the journey. The Hippo Roller disrupts this exhausting cycle. The roller's ergonomic design transfers the weight of water from the head and spine to the ground. The barrel shape allows for easy rolling over uneven terrain, and the high-density plastic can withstand years of rough use. It holds 90 liters, nearly 5 times more than a bucket, drastically reducing the number of daily trips required. Families save time, children attend school more regularly, and communities become healthier as hygiene improves. The genius lies in the simplicity. There are no moving parts to break, no complex manufacturing processes. The rollers are made from locally available materials and can be repaired easily in the field. Local workshops can produce them, generating jobs and skills training. The inventors ensured that the design could be scaled and replicated anywhere in Africa, a model of open, practical innovation. What makes this even more remarkable is the sustainability behind it. The rollers are made from recyclable, UV-resistant plastic, built to last up to 7 years in harsh climates. Some models now include solar-powered lids that can purify water or light up at night. Others are adapted for agriculture, helping farmers irrigate crops with minimal effort. These upgrades transform the humble roller into a multi-purpose rural technology, connecting water access to energy, farming, and education. International organizations quickly noticed. The United Nations Development Program, World Vision, and numerous NGOs began integrating Hippo rollers into community aid initiatives. Corporate sponsors helped fund mass distributions in drought-prone regions of South Africa, Mozambique, Kenya, and Malawi. Each new delivery carried the same quiet revolution, a small piece of plastic that restored power to the people who needed it most. The deeper impact, however, goes beyond logistics. In many communities, the Hippo roller has become a symbol of dignity. Where once villagers arrived at wells exhausted and sore, they now move confidently, sharing rollers and working together. Children who once missed school have time to learn, and mothers who once spent half their day walking can invest those hours in farming, trade, or rest. The physical liberation translates directly into social progress. Economists often measure development in GDP and trade balances. But in reality, development begins with human capacity, the ability to live, move, and create freely. The Hippo roller restores that capacity. Every kilometer saved, every liter carried, is a small act of empowerment that accumulates into a continental transformation. Its success has inspired similar African-led inventions focused on sustainability and social impact. From solar-powered irrigation pumps in Burkina Faso to off-grid vaccine coolers in Kenya, innovators are reimagining how design can directly improve daily life. These solutions share a common philosophy. Start with the community, build for resilience, and keep the design simple enough to scale. The Hippo Water Roller project continues today as a social enterprise based in Johannesburg. It collaborates with governments, NGOs, and corporations to fund distribution campaigns and manufacturing hubs. Donors can sponsor rollers, each embossed with a unique identification number for tracking. The organization maintains a transparent impact record, ensuring accountability and community feedback. It's a model of African entrepreneurship with global lessons in how innovation ecosystems can serve humanity, not just markets. Perhaps the most profound lesson of all is how the Hippo roller challenges stereotypes about where innovation comes from. Too often, the global narrative paints Africa as a continent that receives technology rather than creates it. Yet here stands a homegrown invention that has reached global recognition. Featured in design exhibitions, humanitarian conferences, and even academic studies as an example of appropriate technology in action. The Hippo roller represents an idea larger than itself, that true progress begins with empathy. It's not just engineering, it's social design. It's the kind of thinking that the world desperately needs as it faces water scarcity, climate change, and inequality on a global scale. African innovation doesn't just solve African problems, it offers models for the planet. As global water challenges intensify, from California's droughts to India's groundwater depletion, the world may soon turn back to Africa's simple, durable solutions for inspiration. The Hippo roller's principle is universal. Technology should reduce suffering, not complicate it. In that sense, Africa has already been leading the way. The story of the Hippo Water Roller reminds us that innovation doesn't always look like a smartphone or a satellite. Sometimes, it's a plastic drum rolling down a dusty road, changing the rhythm of daily life, one revolution at a time. You've been watching Echoes of Africa, where every story carries the sound of tomorrow. If this moved you, subscribe now, like, and share so Africa's voice never fades into silence.